Fond du Lac County deputies are investigating what caused a plane to crash on its way to EAA. As we reported just before 8 last night, officials say they received a report of a plane crash from its pilot. First responders had trouble getting to the plane and the two men inside because of the marshy area near Highway 49 and Hemp Road in the township of Waupun. Investigators say the plane left an airport in Cedar Rapids around 2 hours before the crash. The pilot says the plane's engine suddenly lost power as they were nearing their destination. He says he was forced to make an emergency landing in the marshy area. The 76-year-old Texas man piloting the plane was treated for a possible shoulder injury. The crash is still under investigation. With the first